Hello. Hello. I'm here. I think it's working. It's Friday. We made it to Friday. Thank goodness. This was a long week. There we go. It's working. Woohoo. No problems today. Well, I shouldn't say that because that could change at any moment, actually. But I'm here. And we've got a few things to talk about today. So I will diddle daddle. Diddle daddle? Is that a word? I'll do that around until you all are able to get in here. Hi, Tarot Gothis. Hi, Cousin B. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. You probably, caught me doing weird stuff, but that's nothing new. That happens. How are you all today? Do you have a good week? You made it to Friday. I'm very excited to make it to Friday because I don't know. This whole month's been going fast, but this week seems slow for some reason. I'm glad you're good. Yeah, I'm good too. But yeah, this has just been kind of crazy how fast the month has gone. Like, it seems like as soon as really probably not even January, but probably sooner, probably like October, like once October hit, things started moving so fast. I can't even believe like next week is the end of January. That's just crazy to me. But it was weird because at the same time, this week seemed to go slow, but it was probably because I wasn't feeling well. Yes, Tarot Gothis. It's finally Friday. Love that. We made it. We made it. So good. So I know that we have birthday to celebrate today. So, well, this will probably be pretty short. I don't think I have too much to talk about. Hi, Judy. Thanks for being here. It's good to see ya. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just thought of something weird, but it's like not related to anything. I'm sure it'll come up later. Um, anybody have? So I know that we need to do because it's Tiff's birthday. We need to do. Why is this pin so exciting to be so thick today? Oh, there, that's better. We'll do Tiff's numbers if she comes in. I don't like to do people's numbers if they're not here. So if she makes it in, we'll do Tiff's numbers. But what other numbers? I did want to talk a little bit about what we saw come out about the vibrational core on Wednesday on Twitch. But what else? Are there any other numbers or dates or anything that I should include on this list? Let me know. Get my water, get in my routine to make sure I'm sipping water regularly. Ooh, this water bottle needs to be clean. I try not to look in there because it's gross, but we'll see. Thank you. you for dropping in and saying hello. It's so good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully it's a wonderful stream. Thank you so much. Thanks. And I gotta drop into Vegas Unlocked after this. I usually try and drop in. Sometimes I don't get to be there long enough to say anything though. But thank you. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm sorry. I just realized I wasn't talking. I was just reading what everybody was saying. Here. It's good to see ya. Welcome in. You got any numbers for me? How many members do you have now? We should look at those numbers. We definitely got to look at Tiff Tiff's numbers today for her birthday. I hope you're feeling better, Koala. A lot of people have been sick this week. And I think it was last weekend or maybe the end of last week is when I started getting some alerts, like actual alerts, not like, like woo, weird alerts, but like actual alerts from scientists that the sun was being super active. But what happens is when so we were having a lot of solar flares come in actually this week. And when we have a lot of solar flares coming in and a lot of space activity happening, it can mess with our bodies, our electrical system. And a lot of people get sick and get cold symptoms, but mostly the congestion in the face because your electrical system starts and ends right there at the front of your face, but also your energetic system. So, like, being able to feel your energy and your intuition, it's all there at your third eye. So when this is all congested, like it has been for all of us this week, a lot of times it's energetic. Yeah. Yep. So there's when that happens to me, you do all the stuff you need to do for your physical body, but there's a couple of things that you can do for your energy body. So one is making sure that you're keeping your energy moving. So even so I know there was a couple times where I was like, yeah, no, I can't get up and like go to the gym or move or anything, but I can move my arms because any kind of movement is going to help move the energy around. But also you could do breathing techniques. So like holding one nostril shut and breathing in and then breathing out through the other nostril, you feel like you're going to drown because you can't breathe through your nose. But it actually helps to move energy um through that system and it can help. So just a suggestion. uh, oh, it's not just been you, Koala. It's been a lot of us. And I typically know when people are going to have it hit them because I feel it usually a couple days, sometimes a week before everybody else. So right as I'm getting over it, you guys are getting hit. Yeah, the breathing technique is very helpful. It actually works for migraines also because when you have migraines or headaches, that's also where you're having energy move funny through your electrical system. Yeah. Hi, Josh. Thanks for being here. Oh no, Judy, we don't see your numbers. Hopefully you're typing them a different way. But if anybody else has any dates or numbers that they want to look at today, we can certainly add this to our list. I'm going to go while you are thinking. I'm going to grab. Oh, hi, Eva. Thanks for being here. It's so good to see you. Thank you for bringing all of your positive vibes every time. You bring some good old positive vibes for us. I'm going to find. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah. I'm looking for some of what we did on Wednesday on Twitch. So, for anybody that doesn't know, on Wednesday nights on Twitch, I do where basically it's just listening to music and you can watch me work. So you can watch some of the numbers that I pull out and then the research I do with them and the things that we pull together. And so this last Wednesday, which doesn't seem like it was a couple days ago, but it was a couple days ago. We were looking at the vibrational core where everybody has this vibrational core of who we are. So here's one of the images from what we were working on. I love just watching everybody saying hello and stuff. Yeah, that's right, baby love. You hit 10K this week. Congratulations. That's exciting, especially in this new year that has that 10 vibration. That's great. Very exciting. Yes, thank you, Judy. Everybody hit the like, please. Please. Okay, so for anybody that hasn't seen this before, this is the divine triangle. And this is a way that in numerology, we look at somebody's whole life cycle. And this is a way that you could actually do predictions for somebody's life. And it starts with, at the very center, this triangle is this vibrational core. And so the vibrational core is all of the vibrations that make you who you are and that you bring into the world and that then help you to contribute vibrationally to the world. So if we think about how everything, including us, is made of energy, all energy is made of vibration. So everything is vibrations, and they're like woven together, and they're moving and working together in different ways to make everything and make us who we are. So these vibrational core are the vibrations that make up the weaving of who we are from the time of our birth. And so, in here, let me move this down real quick and we can make a little bit of a list. I like lists. I like lists. So if we think about the vibrational core, and the different things that are in there, it would be like your life path number and your name, but also it's like your natal astrology. So it's whatever the alignment of the planets, if there were stars doing things, anything that was happening in that space outside of the earth that impacts our energy. Um, oh, okay. Okay, I see your message, Judy. So you sent it to cousin B. Okay. Okay. Hopefully we'll get them. All of your natal astrology, that's all vibration that goes into who you are. And that includes your sun sign. That's just one part of it. So our sun sign is what we use for like our zodiac, or like our horoscopes now, but it's only one part of your natal astrology. But also you could have actually everything in your DNA, so everything that is passed from you, from your parents onto you, and from generations before. So this is like your DNA, but also your ancestors. Those are all unique vibrations. And so on Wednesday, talking about the vibrational core, what basically came out is that we really need to be paying more attention to make sure that we recognize that it's all of these different vibrations that are going together to make us who we are. And so not just one, and even just a couple of them. So like we have in here, we've looked at like the life path number with like our sun, our moon, and our rising. So that's just 4 of these different vibrations that kind of come together. And we can like look at the name. But even that doesn't encompass all of the vibrations that are within our vibrational core. So a good way of thinking about your vibrational core, it's all the vibrations that we would consider nature. You know, where there's always the debate of like nature or nurture. Like, is it nature or is it nurture? So the vibrational core is actually what we would consider nature. It's just who you naturally are, as you've come into the world. And then the different squares are actually what we would consider nurture, where it's the collection of vibrations. So here's our birth here, and as we're moving around, we are collecting the vibrations of experiences. And our experiences differ based on which of these squares we're in. But through the collection of those vibrations, then that's like the nurture part. Because like our experiences with our parents would be considered nurture, with friends and other family, and just as we travel through life. So that's what we looked at on Wednesday. But I wanted to ask if anybody had any questions about this, and give you an opportunity to ask them, and I could do some further explaining here. While you're putting those into the chat, I'll say that I think what I might start trying to do is on Twitch. So when I'm on Twitch on Wednesdays, it's Wednesdays at 9 Eastern. That's like the one time I'm consistent. Hey, hi, TFM. Thanks for being here. So good to see you. I'm really enjoying your video series that you're putting out. Yes. Okay. Let me figure out what I was saying again. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I was thinking that what I'll do is, because on Twitch on Wednesdays, so Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern is when I'm on Twitch, and it's like a silent time where basically you're just watching me work. You're watching me like pull out numbers and start defining them and looking at research and all that different kind of stuff. But you can take clips on there, and I guess you could do that too here on YouTube. But what we could do is on Fridays, if you want to take clips on Wednesdays, then I'll start bringing those topics here on Fridays to answer more questions. So, all that said, let me know if you have questions about this. I think LT came in with a question. Let me see. LTFM, give me some more information on your question. Just because, like, I've gone on a tangent since you asked it. So I want to make sure that I'm answering it in the correct context. Yeah, I think I understand it, but just let me know. But anybody else have any other questions just about this? So, like, we should not just be using any one vibration. Oh, okay. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, good. Okay, good. Good. I thought so, but I be a little bit off sometimes because my humor is a little bit different. Thank you for clarifying, LT. I appreciate it. Okay, Judy, you have a question? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let me go grab that picture. Yeah. I like very dry, corny jokes. Like, classic dad jokes. They're the best. Okay. So, let me know, Judy, if this is right, cuz what came out at the end is we had this table. Oh, and I think I should probably get that phrase also, just so that everybody can see it. This is the table you're talking about, Judy? Yes, Josh, I said dad jokes, and I was looking for you. Oh, yeah. Because this table kind of came out where it was really about making sure that we weren't just using one thing at a time. And let me grab the other one because we had another one too. Okay, yeah. So really this was for really making sure that we were paying attention to the fact that we could have four very different people. So here's four different people that all have different parts of their vibrational core. So if we're just looking at these four parts of the vibrational core, the life path number, the name, the natal sun, and the natal moon, if those are the only ones we're looking at, so it's not even that we're just looking at one, but if we're looking at four here, we begin to see how people are very different. And so here we see that person one, person three, and person four all have the same life path number of 32. And then person 2 actually has their name that adds up to 32. So if we were to just take this number 32 and just look at that vibration, we would tend to think that these people are actually the same, but we could see differences in them. This is why, like, if you only use the natal sun, which this is the, like, what we use for horoscopes. Horoscopes. Oops. um, we can have people that have that same sun sign but be very, very different people and react differently in the same situation. This is also why you can have like siblings that have a lot of the same DNA and grow up in the same home be very, very different. Um, because their vibrational core is going to be very different. And then how that vibrational core is interacting with the vibrations of experience. So you're carrying your vibrational core around with you as you're going through life. And so it's going to be very different. So how your vibrational core connects to the vibrations of experience changes. So that's really what this was showing us. Is making sure that we're aware that we have to use as many of the vibrations within the vibrational core to really understand not just other people, but really ourselves. And so, really, what we should be doing is we should be getting this information about the vibrational core and learning about ourself. Because as we learn more about ourself, then we can learn more about other people. It went a little bit further. Let me grab this other image. And went into the actual calculations here. Where then it went all the way into these calculations. And if we were to, let's say we change this 52 to 51. Now this is 97. This is also, so like if we had 2 here that were the same, so now person 1 and person 2, even with all 4 of these, adding up to 97, it's still going to give you differences because it's where these different vibrations are coming from within the vibrational core and how they're working together. Oh my gosh, I don't see anybody's numbers. What's happening? We're doing this again? There must be some powerful message. Because it seems like whenever YouTube want to block the numbers, it's some powerful messages. But does this answer your question, Judy? Did you have any others about this? So really what we were looking at with these charts was really about how to make sure that we are getting as many vibrations from that vibrational core as possible. Oh yeah, see, when LT's putting it in text, it's coming through. But you probably have a lot of numbers and they're probably really big too, huh? Okay, good. Any other questions about this vibrational core? While you're thinking or typing, I'll just point out here also that each of these squares has a different set of experiences and vibrations of experience um, that are you're basically collecting through life. So when you're in this youth phase, you're collecting vibrations of youth experiences that add to the vibrational core to build identity. So this youth square is all about building identity. So you start with the core of who you are, with the vibrational core. And then as you go through youth, which is from birth all the way to age 27. So sorry to tell some of you, if you're not 27 yet, you're not considered a vibrational adult. But it doesn't mean you get to act funny. And so then after 27, so from 27 all the way over here to 54, you're in this power square. And this power square is when you're collecting these vibrations of power experiences. These are the experiences that test and strengthen your vibrational core and your identity. So this is where you're strengthening your identity for with your through your experiences. That's why we have, like, I guess it's, I don't know, somewhere in here between the ages of 27 and 54 would be like where people are like, "Oh, you have your midlife crisis." That's actually what it is. It's a crisis of identity. Why does LT get to put all the numbers in? That's actually pretty funny and rude at the same time. What's up with that, YouTube? Oh, 155 is a good number. 151 is an interesting number. Might have to look at some of those too. Oh, you're actually typing the numbers that they're putting in text. I see. Oh my gosh. I love that. Thanks, LT. Thanks for using your magic. So, youth, you're building your identity. You're figuring out who you are through experience, and you're learning who you are through experience. And then in power is now where that identity is being tested, of like, is this really who you are? And the things that really are authentically you get strengthened. And the things that are not authentically you fall away. And then when you get to this wisdom phrase, which is from 54 to 81, um, this now is where all of your experiences are about sharing your identity. It's building legacy through sharing who you are, sharing the wisdom of who you are, what you have learned through your experiences. And so I would say, one thing I would say is that these this is like it's just like a blueprint to be able to use, but it's not going to be the same for everybody. So there are definitely people that have identity crisis and have things happen that challenge who they are or test who they are in youth. We also have people that do not build an identity or don't have the experiences needed to build an identity. So then they have nothing to stand on when it's tested. But you can pretty much tell um, where somebody has gotten stunted or where somebody is based on just their general interactions with the world around them. So, children that we say, oh, they have an old soul, are usually like they're having their identities tested earlier than usual, or they're bringing in some of this wisdom um, within their vibrational core in the youth time. But then if we have grown people that are acting a fool, it's usually that they did not build a solid identity. They're all over the place with their identity. So, okay. All right, let me catch up in chat and get a drink of water, and then I'm going to grab all of these numbers for us to look at. Yeah, YouTube really was hating on you. And Josh. Probably because YouTube was like, oh, that's your twin? Okay. We'll make sure you get the same treatment. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, see mostly the numbers. And happy and sad that LT could put numbers in. You know what? That's the same for me, LT. Usually technology doesn't work for me. It works like in weird sporadic ways. I do weird things to technology. My energy does. I don't know. Never figured it out. Yes, exactly, LT. Some people grow old but don't grow up. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they say fake it till you make it, but if it's not authentically your identity, it'll fall away when it gets tested. So, like, that's actually one that I've been like thinking about a lot for myself because I lived by that for a long time. But yeah, it's like, man, it can mess you up. Because if you build an identity around like assimilating to the spaces that you're in or to just surviving, then you can't really find yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. We have lots of good examples of all kinds of people. But also, like, this is the same life cycle that we see for cultures, for groups of people, and also for countries. So you can apply this to all those different areas. So we see good examples um, all over. All over. And let me actually, that's actually I will, let me grab a clean one of these divine triangles. I'm so glad I found this. I haven't lost it yet, you noticed? I expected to lose it a lot quicker. Let me go down here real quick. So, just because I said that this works for people, it works for cultures, and it works for countries. So, just to give you some examples actually on here, we have Generation X is most of Generation X is like right at this intersection. So Gen X is at this intersection where they are moving from power into wisdom. And so we should see more of the Gen X generation, of those that have actually allowed their identities to be tested and strengthened. You should start seeing a difference in how they're behaving, that they should be starting to behave more in this wisdom phase. But it'll be obvious if they are or they're not. We also have, oh, right here actually with Gen X also is the culture of hip hop. So hip hop is like right here. So in 2027 is when hip hop will be 54. So hip hop right now is moving right here. So that's an example. Then another example is right, so right here, which this will be 2026, so this coming summer, when the United States turns 150 years old. But it's in this, I think this is its fifth youth. So this is the fifth time the United States is coming around this. And each time, so this goes to 81. But each time you start this youth, now it's like you're building more on your identity. You're building more on their identity, but this is where you could actually see an identity switch. So the United States is here, and let me actually look real quick because I'm curious. Let's see. So the United States would have moved into, like, out of wisdom into this new youth where it's like redefining its identity in 2017. So yeah, we can use this for everybody, individuals, groups of people, cultures, um, and countries. Really anything that has a vibrational core of who they are. Yeah. Yes. Yes, exactly, LT. But in thinking about, like, each time that they've come around here, and so for the United States, each time they've come around and have not built a strong identity and like actually stood for things, whether they were right or wrong, um, had their identity tested and moved into a place of legacy building, then it deepens the wounds that they carry. And the wounds that are inflicted become deeper. So it's harder to heal, basically. Oh, thanks, Cousin B. Okay, so all right, so it probably was right around this 2017. Well, and it's very interesting to see that the United States hit this at 2017, and then it would have been like what, right in here when we had the pandemic in 2020, and things that had been happening for a long time um were brought into the light again. So it was like experiencing again. This is also where you can see history repeating itself. So we could go through and find different dates in US history, and they'll pretty closely line up um with this. So even thinking about the when the United States was even brought into existence, its original birth would have been 1776, and then it would have gotten here, like this would have been 1785. So thinking about what was happening in this time frame and how it would relate from 2017 to 2026. There's a lot of similarities there. So, yeah, this is pretty interesting. This is actually the tool that I use the most. I have a big old spreadsheet where I do a bunch of calculations, because you can use this to do a bunch of calculations to find key years and key dates in any like lifetime. Okay. That went longer than I expected, but interesting. Interesting, interesting. And in that time, we were able to get Judy's numbers. Now, I wanted to go over Tiff's numbers because it's her birthday, but I don't want to do it when she's not here because that just feels weird. So, if we need to save it for tomorrow or another day, we certainly can. All right. Thank you, Cousin B, for getting these and putting them in here. Thank you for everybody putting in your efforts to get these numbers. I appreciate it. 155 and 87.2. Okay. So we're gonna look at these in, looks like 3 chunks. 3 chunks? Yeah. We'll do these two together. We'll do these two together, and then we'll do this one. Sorry, I was listening. I was listening. Um, any additional context that you want to give us now, Judy? And if not, you can wait till, we dig in. Um, also, but let me know if there's any context you want me to start with or make sure to incorporate for any of those three sets. All right, so let's start with 111 and 151. So the first thing is all of these ones. We have a lot of one energy right now, and it's because we've just moved into 2026. Um, yeah. But also, we're automatically going to have a lot of new things coming in as we are ending things. So, anybody that has been really using are doing a lot to be able to clear out any energy that, or anything that's not working for you anymore, then it's making a space for it to open up into the new space. And have new energy come in. And new energy could be new people, it could be new places, it could be new things, but it also can be new ideas, new ways of thinking about things, new ways of doing things, like doing things in new ways or trying new ways to do things. And both of these, so we have first this 111, this triple one, which goes to a 3. But this is one that people usually recognize as one of those angel numbers. So this is mostly used to grab your attention because it's just an amplified vibration. So this amplified vibration is like, hey, hello, it's me. I have a delivery. I have a delivery. But in this case, this is coming up a lot because we're just coming out of retrograde season. And retrograde is 111. It's numerical vibration. So if we were to use our code where A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26, for the word retrograde in English, we'd get 111. We also were just coming out of a stellium. And again, if we use our code, this also is 111. And the stellium is where we had those multiple planets and objects in space that were aligned together. So this is where we had Mars, the sun, and Venus. You only need 3, so it's like 3 or more is a stellium. So Mars, Sun, and Venus together gave us the stellium. Also, the term convergence kept coming up this last week, where it's like the alignment of energies and vibrations. And that also is 111. So I'm not surprised by this one, because yes, it could be used to bring attention to a bigger message, but it also was a vibration that was resonating very strongly because of things that were happening in space. And like I said at the beginning of this live, we had a lot of space energy, particularly from the sun, which was part of this stellium. So the sun was sending us a ton of energy. There were a lot of solar flares that were coming and hitting the earth. And that's why a lot of people are having cold symptoms, flu symptoms, not feeling well. It's messing with our body electricity. It also could mess with the technology, the electric system of our technology as well. But the sun was actually sitting right here in between Mars and Venus when it was throwing out these flares. And so that energy was in there too. So part of that stellium. Then the other thing is that both of these vibrations are what we would consider portals. So even though this 111 is all of the same number, it still works similarly to a portal number. 151 is definitely a portal where these ones are a similar vibration. Well, they're the same vibration. And so they want to be near each other, like magnets. And so because they want to be near each other, it's creating this movement of the vibration that's acting similar to like a whirlpool. And it's creating an opening for this 5 energy to come through. This 111 does work similarly. It's a weaker portal because they all are the same number. So it's not like these outside ones are drawn to each other as much because they have the one connecting them. And so there's not as much of that movement to make this a portal. But this 151, it's definitely a portal and bringing forth this 5 energy, and the 5 vibration is change. And then this together is a 7. I am getting that, and I think I get this every time, but really wanting to make sure that we remember that all of these vibrations are neutral. So with something like change, it can be positive change, or what we would perceive as positive change, or negative change, because it's a neutral vibration. It holds all of the positive and the negative possibilities of that vibrational experience. And it all depends on what position we are interacting with this vibration from. So it just depends on what our perspective is. Oh, yeah. Well, what I've actually been seeing, Judy, is that um, these portal numbers pop up a lot in Koala's stream, and they pop up pretty consistently whenever somebody is blessing him and blessing the koalaholics with a super chat or any of those. Um, those tend to come through these portals. It's pretty interesting to see. I also see that these portal numbers pop up when somebody is coming into the chat that'll change the vibration or the trajectory or how the energy is moving. So like when somebody comes in and it's like another bigger creator, or somebody that's not there regularly or hasn't been there for a while, or somebody that's having a birthday, when they come in, it's changing the movement of how the live is going. They tend to come through these portal numbers too. I'll be sitting back and watching these. It's very interesting. But with this, let's look at this 151 a little bit closer. So with this 151, we have this new energy of most of the new energy that's coming in is either coming from outside of Earth, so it's coming like from space, whether it's the sun, whether it's like this three-eye atlas or any of these other comets, whether it's star activity or the movement and configuration of any of the other planets. That's where a lot of this new energy is coming from right now. So a lot of this new energy feels very divine. It feels much more cosmic. It feels bigger. Mostly because it's like alien to us. There's Tiff Tiff. What an entrance. Happy birthday. But this new energy is coming in and it's creating this portal. And from this portal of new energy, it's really asking for change to happen. That there's some changes that need to happen. Um, and they need to happen because there's some action that needs to be taken, but the change needs to happen before that action can be done in flow. So, in vibrational flow. Yeah, okay. I think that's perfect timing, Tiff Tiff, because we started this first one. Waiting for ya. But we could look at some of Tiff Tiff's numbers for her birthday. And then we'll look at these other two sets. Sound good? Let me know if you have any questions about those first two, though, while I drink some water. Oh my gosh. I actually really hate drinking water when I'm congested. I still am a little bit congested. But I always think I'm going to choke. That's why you see me sit here holding the water in and try to swallow slow like a weirdo. Because I don't want to choke. I have a fear of dry drowning. You know, dry drowning, where you drown on dry ground. Yeah. Yes. Happy birthday, Tiff Tiff. So exciting. And it's not very often that we get to look at somebody's vibrations on their actual birthday. I love it. So, when we think about like New Year's, um are you sure, Josh? I don't know. I might have gills. I'm not convinced yet. You're going to have to do more than that to convince me. So every year that you have, so if we think about, we just came through New Year's, what we would deem New Year's, where The sun moved in a way that told us, all right, we're no longer in December, we're now in January. So, with the calendar that we use the sun. There are other calendars that use the moon. So, like the Chinese New Year that's coming up, I think in about a week. It's like early February, I believe, is the Chinese New Year. That's based off of the moon. And there's lots of different calendars that are based off of different celestial bodies. But for your own personal new year, it's your birthday. So on your birthday every year is when you are shifting, it's when your vibrational core is shifting to a new position along that vibrational plane. I wonder if I still have it in here. I do. So each year is when you are moving to a new vibrational year. So every year on your birthday. And that's why this goes by age. And when we talk about the numerology and the vibrations, we always talk about usually your birthday because that's when you're getting a shift in energy. So this means that Tiff Tiff, you are moving into 2026 vibrational energy today. 2026? Yeah, 2026 vibrational energy today. My birthday's always weird because it's at the end of the year. So I won't move into 2026 energy until the end of 2026. It's all whatever. Oh, it's February 17th? Okay. Yeah, so mid February. Thank you. Thank you, Judy, for looking that up. That's the Chinese New Year. So, this is a very important day for you, Tiff Tiff, because your birthday is when you actually should be setting New Year's intentions and goals and, celebrating a year completed and stepping into a new year. Not so much like on New Year's Eve, like we do. I mean, that is like a new year for us as a group of people, but individually, it's your birthday. So there's a couple things I want to look at for Tiff Tiff. And Tiff Tiff, you could let me know if any of these you want to add to. But I want to look at Tiff Tiff versus Otis. I want to look at the name difference there. And then we'll actually do your birthday calculation. So we'll do your life path number. All right, so life path number, let's start with that. So Tiff Tiff was born in a year that adds up to 18. And then, so this is the year, not 1800. Josh, don't you start saying no crazy stuff. This is the digit, the 4 digits added up together gives us 18. She not that old. And then we add the month, which would be 1, and then we add the day, which is 23. And let's see, 18 plus 1 plus 23 is 42. Okay, and then that gives us a 6. So, first thing that's interesting to me. Yeah, Josh. So now you know, you see where the 18 came from? First thing that's interesting is um both Tiff Tiff and I have the same day vibration. I always think that it's interesting to see that connection point. So that's a vibrational connection point between us, is this day vibration. This day vibration adding up to 5 um is pretty strong. There's a stronger vibration in here though. Okay, so let's keep going. So we know we also actually have the same single digit life path number. Tiff Tiff. I am a 6 also, but mine comes from 60. But a 6 vibration. Hey, Tiptoe Joe, don't be coming in here scaring nobody. So a 6 is all about comfort and comfort zones. And so us single digit 6 vibrations, we're meant to contribute to the world this vibration of creating comfort zones, but also disrupting them. And so then it really depends on what that double digit is to let us know um, where that 6 is coming from. And is it more of a disruption of comfort zones or a creation of comfort zones? It's usually a combination of the two, but one is usually stronger than the other. 6 single digit life path number vibrations are meant to challenge comfort zones. Like, you should not be comfortable with that. But this 6 is coming from first this 2, where the 2 is definitely, it's always about like ending division or duality or polarization. But what it's very much feeling like for you, Tiff Tiff, is this 2. Um, it's like if a line is drawn and it's like, what side are you on? Are you on side A or side B? And everybody is, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tiff Tiff, you are the line. So that means that you have a lot of vibrational power to draw the line for people and for groups. Hmm, interesting. You understand. So, with this too, you'd understand this division, this polarization, these two sides so well. That's what makes it so that you could be that line. It means that you can understand both sides, but you're probably one of the few people that actually um, can influence which side people are on. Which makes sense. Because it, like, what I'm seeing is like somebody trying to cross the line and you, nope, snatching them. You belong over here. Not here. You belong on this side of the line because you are that line. And I think we could see that in the positions that you take within groups. Um, you are like that line of defense a lot of the times. And it seems like that would probably be pretty consistent with your life. You just have to make sure that you understand that power that you're wielding. That it's not that um it's not that you just understand these two sides, and when there's polarization or where there's a line, um and when others are trying to cross it when they shouldn't, it's literally you have the power to move that line. Exactly. Exactly, Tiff Tiff. Like you get to decide where that line is. And so you have to be very highly aware of when and where you are drawing that line for people, because it can put you in situations where um people will challenge you because of the line that you've drawn. So you have to be prepared to defend that line. And why is it there? And understand that you have the power to be also to move it. So if you draw a line at one point, which I already know, being a Capricorn mind sun myself, sitting right next to that wonderful Aquarius sun, that Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius, we're some of the most stubborn people, and it's hard to actually get back in our good graces. So if so you have to be aware also of when you need to change that line, because you have the power to do that. So if there is somebody that you've like off of first impression, you've drawn that line for them, um there will be times, I'm sure you've encountered it, where you have to change the where that line is. You have to sometimes allow people to come into your good graces again. Or allow their first impression to not be their only impression. That's so interesting. It looks so interesting. Yeah. But it's really important for you to have a very deep understanding of how these divisions and duality and polarizations are created, um, both within a group and between groups, um, both within an individual, because all of these would be lessons that you would learn for yourself first. So you're also drawing the line for yourself. So it's not just that you are really understanding the two sides, but you're understanding why there's a division. Where does it come from? And you have the ability, you have the power to be able to change those lines and to end that division. But it is really stepping into a place of wisdom where you know when to be able to change that line to stop that division from happening. Yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, I this is okay, good. I'm glad this is making sense for you, Tiff Tiff. But by understanding these two sides, this is where you're able to then build stability. You build a foundation. That's this for. So it's kind of like if you are building a house and you have the four walls of the foundation. You are establishing where each of these walls go, and by understanding why each of these walls need to be where they are, you are able to build a very stable foundation for whatever you want to build. But this means also, oh gosh, this is funny. I love it when stuff comes through so clear because it's funny. Um, and like when I can see it, um, like playing out so clear. So this means that you also can crumble people's foundations. You can make people feel very unstable. So another power that you must wield with wisdom. So just like changing where that line is, you can change how stable somebody feels, either within a group, with you, or with other people. Um, this is like your superpower. And this is how you are both building, but also confronting these comfort zones. Because you can look at what people are saying. So, like in a group discussion, you can look at what are all the lines that are being drawn in this discussion. Why is there division? Why are people on either side of any of these lines? And you can start asking the questions or posing some, like making some statements and posing things that are changing and moving these lines where it can feel like it's unstable, but then you can bring it back together. So, like, you're moving the lines in ways people are thinking, but then you can bring them back together to create an even more stable foundation. So, this is how your vibrational six presents itself, where it's very much both challenging and breaking down these comfort zones, what people feel are stable, and rebuilding them. Well, okay. Well, damn, Tiff Tiff. All right. So here, everybody just thought you were coming in and being everybody's favorite bouncer, but you actually are drawing these lines. That's just what you're doing vibrationally, so it makes sense that you would be in that role. But don't forget, you do have the power to change that line and move that line, and you could choose to um, create a place of comfort or to break up what people are comfortable with. Very powerful in that way. So let's look at these two different names and see how they interact differently with this 42. Do, 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 do. Anybody know what that's from? I don't know what it's from, but it just keeps coming to my head today. Do, 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 do. So let's look at these two different names. So if it is Doug, thanks, Cousin B. Thanks, Cousin B. I knew somebody would know. It's been driving me crazy all day. Oh, that feels so much better. Thank you. So let's look. If we are Patty Mayonnaise, hey, you know what? Oh my gosh, you guys are right. It's been driving me crazy because it's just been like those 3 or 4 notes. Um, so one tiff is 41. Hey, Judy, who has a 41? 41 is actually Judy's life path number. So there's that vibrational connection there. And so then this is bringing this 5. And this one would be a 41 to 5 also. So this 55 is very much about change. So in this name of Tiff Tiff, that it very much is resonating as this change, like a change maker. And because it's 2 5s, 55 is the numeric vibration of the word karmic. So 55 is karmic change. It's like the reap what you sow energy. So without even going into Otis mode, you are bringing the energy back around. Like, oh, you have put this energy out into the world. Now here is your consequence of thus energy. But then if we do 41 plus 41, we get 82. And here's that 2 again. So here again is that vibration of ending a division. And you're doing that from the position of the line. But what you're doing is you're ending the division by understanding what is the reap what you sow energy. What has been put out there that now is coming back around. And then this takes the 10 to the 1. So I don't know what Otis is, but in 2026, because it is also this 10-1 energy, you may want to use Tiff Tiff a little bit more. because it's going to draw in more of this new energy for you to be able to use. This 82 is also the numerical vibration of the word portal and gateway. And this is actually um, going right along with what we were seeing with your life path number, because this is not just creating the portal for energies to go in and out. It is like you are the portal, you are the gateway, you are allowing people in or out in this vibration of Tiff Tiff. Very interesting. And it's interesting that that 41 is so close to your 42. So that's probably why it resonates with you well. But then let's look at these added together with your life path number. So then if we do the 82 plus the 42, we get 124, which is a 7. But the more important thing here is that 124 is the numerical vibration of the phrase, I love you. So as much as you don't want to admit it, or you do, you can choose because you're the line. Your vibration of Tiff Tiff is actually bringing this vibration of I love you. That's actually how it's vibrating. And so then when you are drawing the line or imposing a line on somebody, like from your life path number, that's why it could be so jarring to them. Because here's your vibration making them feel like, oh, you love me? And then you're like, no, here's the line. And you are crossing it. That's why it can feel so much more jarring from you than from somebody else. We can look at too your whole username. We'll just do that over here on the side. So if we take the 82 plus your 80, then we get 162, which is 9. So with your username, it is bringing this 9 vibration. So it is bringing an ending or completion. So this is also where when you make your decision about somebody or a group or something that you're going to do, it could feel very complete. And so it could be hard to come out of that decision, but sometimes you need to. Very interesting. All right. Let's see this what's happening here with Otis. Yeah, you've got a lot here that's really showing that you have a lot of power to change things, to change the line, to change how people feel, not just around you, but wherever, like in a group or a space where you are. You've got a lot of power there, so wield it wisely. So let's look at Otis. So Otis would be 15 plus, hey, come on, calculator. 15 plus 20 plus 9 plus 19. Well, there we go. There we go again. So Otis is 63. So here's that 9 again. So again, it's like, oh man, making us making it feel like things are very final and done and exact. Um, but be careful with that because you got a lot of power to make change or to change your mind. Because if you change your mind on somebody or on a situation, no, nobody's gonna question you because you're coming in as such a powerful force. So just remember that. Yeah, and here you have this 9 that's that's attached to this 6 again. But the 6 here is the development of a new comfort zone. And this comfort zone is created from a place of growth. So growth is also a type of change. So it's almost like what I'm seeing is it's like you can, as this Otis persona, you could spread it and expand. So you could expand what those spaces are on the line because you could change the lines. You could remap out what is considered within the walls of your stability and foundation and create a new comfort zone. This would be, this would look like what we drew. Where did I draw it? Over here somewhere. Where did I draw it? Oh, there. This. Where you could take the foundation that's there and actually begin to break that comfort zone and change it and shift it and throw, move it around so then it can become something new. So you can do this also to like change those lines of division because you understand that division so well. You can see it very clearly. Where you could say, you know what, we have this line of division here, um, but as the line, I can see that there's actually this small group of people over here that need to be included. So we're going to shift this so that now this new comfort zone includes those. Very interesting. Okay, now I'm so curious. Now we got to look at, well, what's the difference here? Because if Tiff Tiff is bringing um this love, what is happening here with Otis? So then if we do 63 plus 42, we get 105, which is another 6. So again, resonating with your life path number. Look at all the 6s you have here. Like that's a 6. This is a 6. You have a 6 here. So a lot about making people feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Yeah, that's so interesting. But I think the thing I want to point out here is that for this 105, it has the 0 here in the middle, where 0 is that God or universe energy that we have no control over. And with it here in the middle, it's basically letting you know that the change that you're focused on, whatever change it is, whether it's changing the people that are in the group or around the group, changing how the group feels, an atmosphere, changing really anything. So, changing your position, changing jobs, changing anything is actually not as important as bringing in the new energy. Hmm, that's very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised, Tiff Tiff, that you've been challenged with the lines drawn. Um, Especially because we usually get our biggest tests right before our birthdays because we're in the last year. So you would have been in 2025 energy the last few months because you're just moving into 2026 energy today. So that means that these months before, you would have been in 2025 energy, which was asking you to end things that were not working for you. And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with the lines that were drawn. Very interesting. So when so this Otis name is very much centered around comfort, while Tiff Tiff is very much focused, centered around I love you, but also this perfect combination of masculine and feminine where it's action in vibrational flow. But you actually are in a very powerful position also where you can flip between these as well. So you probably will need to move into that tiff tiff vibration energy when you're examining the lines and trying to see which lines may need to be moved or changed. But then move into that Otis energy when it's definitely time to shake up and um, ask about the comfort zones and why they are the way that they are, and begin to change the lines to establish a new foundation of comfort. Oh, okay. Now I just got to do one more thing because I'm interested, curious. I want to look at. So if we have your life path number of 42, and we have Tiff Tiff at 82, and we have Otis at 63. What does that give us? So 42 plus 82 plus 63. Well, all right. 187. And we have seen this 87. So this actually takes us to a 16 and a 7. So when they're together, they're more like just Tiff Tiff with your life path number. But this 87, this is where we have the vibration of truth, but also blessing. And we saw this, I think, a couple weeks ago. That 87 is the vibration of. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me start over because you're not going to be able to read that at all. Koalaholic. So there's that. And with this 187, so the 100, so 187 is honoring truth or blessing or koalaholic. Very interesting. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop digging. I'm going to stop digging unless you have questions. All right. I'm going to catch up in chat, get some water. Tiff Tiff, let me know if you have questions, if there's anything that doesn't make sense, and you need more explanation on, let me know. Oh, you guys are so funny. I love like seeing your commentary. Oh yeah, that's right. Cousin B did start that. And Cousin B be bringing that new energy all the time. Cuz Cousin B is that 101 energy. Bringing that new energy all the time. mm. Mhm. Yeah, and you know what, Tiff Tiff, you would be like, you are in a prime position to be able to actually have very flexible lines. Where I know, like as a Capricorn sun with a Capricorn mind, I understand your Aquarius mind where we don't like to have flexible lines, but you are very much in a position where you have the power to have some very flexible lines. Um yeah, it's very okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm just keep looking at it because the energy, the way it's moving is um very clear, but also very different than what I expected. That's great. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad everything makes sense. Thank you for letting us get to know your vibrations better. Oh, yeah. Okay. That was great. I was so excited to do that, especially on the birthday. Why did this get so big? Now, why is it so small? There we go. Good. Well, happy birthday, Tiff Tiff. Happy birthday. Let me know if you want any of this video clipped or you need any screenshots or anything. Um, I'm sure others have already gotten their screenshots to make sure that they understand. Wonderful. That was a good one. All right, we got two more sets. of numbers here, and then I'm gonna head out and get something to eat. So let's see. Let's do this 11 and 155. So, Judy, let us know if there's any context you want to include with these. And these are getting included together because 155 is adding up to an 11 too, and then an 11 goes to a 2. So it's a lot of the same vibrational story. So this 11-2 story has been coming up a lot. It's been coming up for me for probably the last 5 years. Yeah, at least 5 years. Um, and it's coming up even more now. Um, like we could see it playing out because this 11, people have been considering this 11, and it has been. It's a master number. It's this first time that we are encountering this amplified vibration because we have these two ones that have the same vibration together, and it's very big energy. But this is like this is duality. Oh, you're welcome, Tiff Tiff. Good. Okay, good. Good. Let me know if you have any questions that come up. Good. And I'm glad those lines are flexible. That's wonderful. Oh, good. I'm glad. What? You talked to Noah today. Okay, that threw me off. I guess those lines are flexible. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. Let me get back. I need to get to eat. All right. So I'm gonna get back here. So 11 really is duality. This is the division. This is the polarization. Um and people, because they get to this 11 and it's the first time we're encountering this uh amplified vibration, they want to stay here. But this is not where we're meant to stay. We're meant to move to the 2 where we can end the division, we can end the duality, we can end the polarization. 11 is like, if you look at it and you see, let me get a different color. Acting like I don't have more colors to use. That's ridiculous. An 11 really is like if you have these two extremes and you're trying to balance in between these extremes. And when you're trying to balance in between these extremes, now you're having to accept all of what both of these extremes are, the pros and the cons, the goods and the bads of both of these extremes. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. What we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be pulling what is good for us from both extremes, getting rid of what's bad for us from both extremes, and finding a new position, a new middle ground, a new path that is not having you choose between the extremes, where neither extreme is all good for us. But we have an option of creating this middle place where we can pull the good parts from both. And that's where we get to this two, where we're ending the division. And then when we have a number here or a vibration here, like 155, this is telling us where the division is coming from. Where is the 11 coming from? Where is the polarization, the duality? Where is it coming from? So then we can work to be able to end it and get to the two. So 155 first has this 55 that we just talked about, where this is karmic change. This is energy coming back around, this reap what you sow energy. It's coming back around specifically so change can happen. Change needs to happen because there needs to be something new that's coming in. So here, the division is created when there's people that don't want to change. So we have like no change versus change. We also have old versus new. So where we have want the new energy to come in and don't want the new energy to come in. This is where the division is being created. This is where the duality is. This is where the polarization is. So this is letting you know where this 11 is coming from. We're seeing this 155 a lot right now also, because it's really where 155 is the numeric vibration of authenticity. The English word authenticity. So again, if we use our A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26, authenticity is 155. So where this energy is coming around and asking for change to happen, there's a lot of questions about, is this change happening from an authentic place? Is this coming from an authentic place? Is the new that you're trying to bring in truly authentic? And this is challenging. Like right now, we have a lot of challenging of the authenticity of people's identity, but also of like the identity they're presenting to us. Also for oh man, we had this, when did this come out? Because I remember we recently saw this 155. Was it during one of the Wednesdays? Mm, let me see. Because I remember this came out before. Ah, yes. Okay. It did. It came out for the volcanic eruption. Yes, it came out with any on Saturday, but it also came out on Wednesday when we were looking at. Here, let me get this so I could bring this up. When we were looking at the last two volcanic eruptions in Hawaii, it was for, of course, it was for the one that was on my birthday, is where it came up again. And so this 155 is coming out strong. So this is where we had Poetic Justice, Kendrick versus Drake. We had, like, these are all of the words and phrases that are accountability is also 155. So not just authenticity, but accountability. So where we have the discussions of authenticity, but also taking accountability. So all of these resonate at 155. Sorry, Tiptoe. Didn't mean to mess you up. Yeah, when I get into it, yeah, it be moving a lot, huh? My bad. I've also been told, hey, go away. I don't want you here. I've also been told that flies are spies. So I know I'm getting in a groove of really talking about something serious when there's flies around. Yeah. Yes, accountability and authenticity. Yep. That's this vibration of 155. Here's also a whole bunch more. So like LT, where you've been talking a lot about this, like, um fight for freedom and great censoring have been coming out in like your videos, breaking cycles, taking a political stand. Like, look at these. And we have the Emmy Awards coming up, and that's 155 also. It's actually kind of creepy how many 155 vibrations we have going on right now. Well, all right. But this 11-2 vibration has been extremely strong. Like I said, probably for like the last 5 years. Um, and it's ramping up and it's coming through as different vibrational combinations, but that they all are adding up to this 11-2. I've been digging deeper into this 11-2. Um, I'll continue to do so, and I think I probably need to start bringing some of what I'm learning out, um, so that you all can see it also. Because I think we're supposed to be actually moving more of figuring out how to end this duality, end these extremes, and move from that 11 to the 2. Well, that was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, so these are definitely ones should take a picture of. And if you don't get all of these, let me know, because I think this list is actually even longer than this. So you can let me know if you want more of these 155 vibrations, because there's definitely something going on here. Um, and I did, in the video I did on the poetic justice theory, it only used all of these 155's 11-2 vibrations. So there's even more in that video as well. But look at all this shift of hip hop. Like the party is dead. Like this is crazy. Family secrets. Like this is nuts. We could talk about these like for weeks. So this seems like it's a vibration to really pay attention to. This 155. But also any of these vibrations that are adding up to an 11 and then that 11 going to 2. They are very strong right now. They're bringing lots of messages, a lot of tasks that need to happen. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll put I have a whole bunch. I need to just bring it together in a way where I could share. Well, and maybe that's what I could start doing on some of our Wednesdays too. Is looking more at these 11-2 vibrations. All right, let's look at this 8722. I love how our vibrations just be um coming up over and over again because we've already seen 87 in Tiff's reading, and here we have it again. So let's see. 8722. 8722. So let's look at this a couple of different ways. Let's look at it. And actually, let's first remind ourselves that this 87 is the vibration of the word truth, but also blessing. Like this word blessing and miracles and miraculous are coming up a lot more too. And I think it's because if you did the work that you needed to do in 2025 to clear out things that needed to end and that were no longer working for you, then you were making room for blessings to come in. And with this new energy of 2026, it very much feels like it wants to bring us blessings. We just have to accept them and make room for them. But let's look at this a couple of different ways. So if we do 8 plus 7 plus 2 plus 2, and there's those 2's again. See? This 11-2 story is huge right now. This is giving us 19. Here's another 10. But this 10 is coming directly from an ending like 2025 energy ending, and things are required to end so new energy can come in. And here's that 1 of 2026. So we're using the endings that happened in 2025 that they're supporting us to be able to make space and be ready for the new to come in. So there's really only 2 reasons you would not receive the blessings that are meant for you. Actually, probably 3. But one is that you're not making space. So you're not clearing out old stuff that needs to be removed. You're not clearing out old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things, even just old junk and people that no longer need to be in your life. If you're not moving those things out, you're not making space for your blessing to actually come in. So that's usually the biggest reason. But another reason is that you do not feel worthy of the blessings, even though they are for you. So even if you're doing all of this work to end things, to shift how you're thinking, to try and do your healing, if you are not seeing yourself as worthy of the blessings, you cannot receive them. So a lot of times that's ending those self-talk and those patterns of thinking that are making you feel not worthy. So this 19 is actually a pretty powerful number. Let's also look at this as 87 plus 22. Oh my goodness, my nose is gonna start running. But I think it's draining the other way, which is even worse. I don't want that going down my. Okay. We're gonna get this done, and I'm gonna get something to eat so I can drink some tea to help get the rest of this gunk out. But if we do 87 plus 22, we get 109. So we still have this 19 energy here. But the difference here is, and we've talked about this already today too, is we have this 0 energy here, which is that God or universe or higher power energy that we have no control over. And it is here that's telling us, stop thinking about what ended. Stop holding on. Let it end. Let it go away so that the new can be enhanced and the new can come in. So that is what this is telling us. Either way, we're getting that we need to allow things to end. We need to end things that have come to a completion. We need to let them go and let them end so we can make room for our new blessings that are trying to come into that space. They're waiting for us. It's actually interesting to be able to see people's vibrations and energy, because I can actually see their blessings just sitting there. Like there's all this energy that's right there that they're like dreaming about and thinking about and wanting. But it's sitting there because they're not making room for it, or they're not just grabbing it because they don't feel worthy. So many of our blessings are they're just sitting there waiting for us. So here we go. Here's some more confirmation that we gotta get our shit together. Oh, thanks, Judy. No, thank you, Judy. Thank you for bringing these numbers. This is great. Any questions here? Yeah, those were some good messages. Yes. Clip it, Judy. Clip it and send it to him. Because he definitely does. Like, your blessings are just sitting there, right there. Ew! What are you? I don't know why it does that. I don't like it. Well, all right. I'm going to go get something to eat and get some tea. And I think most everybody else, Cousin B, are we heading over to Twitch to continue celebrating Tiff Tiff? I hope so. So everybody should meet over there. Cousin B, please feel free to drop that link. Okay, cool. Yeah. Um put that link in there. And so I will be back tomorrow. I am going to try and be here earlier in the day. But you know how that goes. But I will try. I will attempt. Um and tomorrow is when we all focus on hip hop as an example for whatever vibrations have been happening throughout the week. So feel free to bring hip hop events um, and anything that has happened in that hip hop space, and let's talk about it. We could also, I think, bring in any newsworthy events because there seems to be a lot more parallel, especially in the last week, between what's happening overall in the news and what's happening in the hip hop space. So we'll talk about all that tomorrow. So, everybody, have a wonderful night, evening, night. I guess depends on where you are. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, please hit it on the way out. I appreciate you all. See you soon. Bye.